Hello everybody, it's Noodledog and welcome back to Artist Block. We're going to be talking about gesture drawings today. When I talk about gesture drawings, the biggest thing I'm trying to imply is getting the gesture of something on a piece of paper as a relatively quick amount of time. So when we talk about gesture drawings, the biggest thing about gesture drawings is of course getting the figure, getting the motion of something. When we do studies and when we do most other types of drawings, we tend to take extended periods of time to actually sit down and actually render out something from start to finish. However, when doing observational drawings, for the most part, you don't always have time to actually draw something in its entirety because things usually move. If I were to draw somebody just leaning over a counter, I may have, somewhere between 30 seconds to a minute to draw them, and I'm going to want to get as much as I can of that information of somebody bending over that table and draw it as much as I can in as little of time as possible. That's the basic idea of what gesture drawing is. I don't have anything as far as mediums or as far as references. I'm probably going to pull something up and do what I can with that. But I have a couple that I'm going to share really quickly that give a basic idea of gesture. I'm going to zoom in a bit and we're going to talk about these pictures. Now, the first thing you can see is that these aren't clean. These aren't super interesting. These are just basic shapes, but they're getting to the point where they're starting to show the figure. When we talk about gesture drawing, that's all you're trying to do. You're not trying to get anything super detailed, you're just trying to get the form, the figure, the gesture, which is why it's called a gesture drawing. As much as I can get on a piece of paper, I want it there, and I want it as expressive, and I want it as relaying as possible. Relaying in the sense that I want something to be able to basically show what a character or what a person is doing when they're doing a gesture. Now, a gesture can actually be pretty much anything. It's pretty much like a contour drawing. It's just that you're getting, you're not getting super detailed. You're just trying to get as much as you can down. So usually when we start talking about gesture drawings, we only get about somewhere between a minute to maybe 10 seconds of drawing, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but you can get a whole lot down if you want to actually, draw these things out and you want to be able to experiment with these. So I'm going to clear my canvas. And we're going to talk about gesture drawing, do some examples, and we'll try to apply it to some real things so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. This is the most important part, I feel like, about figure drawing when it comes to creating characters, when it comes to creating believable worlds or believing different things, because one of the biggest things about life is that no matter what you're doing, at least if it's a natural thing, most natural pieces or most natural items or objects, they're not straight. They are organic, they're flowing, and they're loose. When you're trying to work with a gesture drawing, you want to be as loose as possible. You want to try to get as much as you can on a piece of paper in as short of a time frame as possible. You're not going to be able to get a person moving. You're not going to be able to get a person to stand still while they're trying to take a step because they're going to be in motion. You can't really do that. And all I want to do when I start with a gesture drawing is first you want to draw a reference. So I'm going to use let's see. I have we'll take one of these here probably, and we can elaborate on it. So let's take take this figure here. This figure is a person's arms. They're stretching out and they're moving around. I'm going to try to get as much as I can down in as little time as possible. I'm going to move this. I'm going to move this all the way over here. And I could probably even enlarge it a little bit so I can get a basic idea. This is already a gesture drawing, but I want to see what I can do as far as just getting something on the paper as quickly as possible. Yes, we're going to take that and apply the transformation. Go ahead and get rid of that. Sorry about that. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to give myself a couple of seconds to actually do this. Maybe give myself 25 seconds to kind of get something down on the paper. And we're going to talk about it. Let's see. Ready, set, start. When I'm working on a gesture drawing, the most things I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get the registration on paper. I'm not trying to get something super detailed. All I'm trying to do is get the basic form of something down. It doesn't matter how I'm getting it on. It doesn't matter if I'm getting an outline or if I'm getting, I don't know, maybe the contour. The most I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a basic understanding of what I have on the paper, and if I can get that on the paper in a way that conveys what I'm looking at or what I'm trying to do, then I can do it. It's been probably about 10 seconds or 20 seconds, something like that. And that's my redesign. It looks pretty similar. You get everything going on. And the interesting part about a gesture drawing is you're not trying to get anything too out of the ordinary. You're not trying to get those extreme details of the muscles. All you're trying to do is to get the original piece and just get the pose. You're not trying to get anything else with the pose. And if it helps, you don't need to do the outline either. Sometimes some figure drawers are really good at this, and they'll just work with just side of the pencil. And you can get a lot of the same situation by just taking the side of a pencil and just working to create what you need as far as the piece. And I'm going over this again. I don't know how much time I'm doing this in, but as you can see, you can even switch back to the pencil. I can go in and do some more work, and that there is another gesture drawing in a couple of seconds. See how quick this is? It's lightning fast. It's nothing super complex. I'm just trying to get something on the paper. I can use as much as I want. I can use it in pen. I can do ink. I can do graphite, charcoal, contact crayon, all kinds of things like that. You can use as many different types of mediums as you can. You can use new pastels, you can use all kinds of stuff like that. In fact, you can do pretty much whatever you want as far as your products go. Matter of fact, I have a gesture drawing from a teacher that I have on my wall right now of me, and he used a Sharpie marker. That's how easy these things are. The key thing is you want to get this down. You want to get it down as fast as you can. Usually when we start gestures, we start with 1 minute poses, and then we break it down to 45 seconds, then 30 seconds, then 25 seconds, then 15 seconds, and then 10 seconds. You want to get all that stuff down as quick as you can. And it sounds daunting, it really does, but I guarantee you it's not hard. It actually is relatively quickly. I'm going to find another one. I can show you how this can apply to anything. These can apply to any type of movement that you could find, any type of pose, any type of thing like that. These are great for studies, by the way. If you're trying to find a way to break something down, to make something look more interesting, or if you're trying to find out how one thing works, you can easily break something down in a gesture drawing and then break it down further to make it into a sketch, and then from a sketch you can turn it into an actual drawing, and then from the drawing you can render the drawing to create something that's unique, you know? But that's just simple thoughts. I think that would be a really good suggestion for you guys. I'm gonna move to black now. Alright, as you can see, I have my pencil now. I'm gonna go back to my favorite pencil. Alright, another thing you can play with is line weight too. We talk about line weight every now and again as far as how our pieces go, but when we talk about the many different things with line weight, I'm going to use my fist. I'm going to draw my fist in a couple seconds. Don't mind me. When you talk about the line weight, you can use your line weight to your advantage, and you can definitely get all kinds of interesting things if you just play with your line weight. You can lead a person's eye just by doing something super simple as making one line heavier than the other and making it more interesting to look at. You can definitely do these kind of things, and this is what makes your gesture drawing super simple and elegant. I'm finishing my hand up right now. Got all my stuff going on, and even add some texture to my fist like that. In time, I don't know how many seconds that was, but it wasn't long. And then I can go back in and even start working on this. And this only took a couple of seconds. You can see that the application is endless. You can take the many different applications you learned. You could take the shape breakdown, you could take the contour lines, the value shading, all of those things you can take and you can apply them to gesture drawings to create something that's really trippy. And some people are actually really good at making just gesture drawings that turn out to be their own pieces because they're that wild and that crazy. So keep that in mind when you're working. Let's work on character pose. I'm gonna find another pose. I used my hand just now, so I'm gonna go into Pinterest and I'm gonna find a pose. And I am going to just put it on the screen and post so you guys can see what I was trying to draw. Maybe that'll be a little bit easier. Give me a second. I want to find something that's relatively simple, but something I can break down for you guys so you can see how I do this. Let's see. It can work with foreshortening too, by the way. So if you're struggling with foreshortening, just get those basic shapes in, get those basic looks in, and you can come up with something that's really, really interesting. Okay, I think I have found what I'm looking for. Yep, I found something. Let's use that. I'm gonna put up the images on the screen. Pinterest is a great source, by the way, if you don't use anything, if you don't have any way to get some subject, if you just want to look at something that's still, and it's a good way to start. I highly recommend Pinterest. Just go to poses on Pinterest and you'll find a plethora of things. If you're like me, who personally likes looking at other poses that people have drawn and then trying to do and flip those, you can do that too. Pinterest has plenty of that. We're going to draw, let's draw somebody doing, I don't know, maybe a run or something like that. There's this chubby little character over here. We're going to draw him. I'm just going to get the basics of the shape down, and I'm going to do my best with that, okay? Alright, so I'm putting it on the screen right now, and I'm going to get started. One of the biggest things when it comes to getting your drawings out of the way is people tend to forget that you don't exactly want to forget about the piece. This is an observational thing, and if you don't get the observation, you're not going to get a whole lot down that's interesting or part of the piece. And in fact, you're going to just come up with something that may just be a little bit, I don't know, maybe a little bit flat or a little bit unconvincing. Now, I often tend to draw the faces and stuff like that. I'm not going to be able to get it as good as I want, but you know, I might be able to do something with it. Look at that. Alright, and then I'm going to do that. And a little mustache here thing. Do it like that. And time. That was me just getting the basics down of one picture. All you need to do, super simple, super clean. Well, not exactly clean actually, but it is something that you can keep in your repertoire. I'll do one more, and that will be the end of the video. Let's make a character. Let's do one of my characters. I'm gonna do myself actually. Let's do that. It's gonna be kind of fun if I can find a cool pose I can use for me. I like drawing myself sometimes. I haven't drawn myself in a while actually. Let's see. Let's get something really cool. This one's fun. How about this one? Okay, I'm gonna put it on the screen. Right about now. Okay. I love going on Pinterest. So, all right. Let's get a move on. In 3, 2, 1. Go. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to try to do as best I can as far as my poses. Sometimes you have to also adjust for, you know, how you're going to be doing things because, you know, sometimes they don't exactly correlate to what you're using. So you're going to have to try to noodle around and, you know, get what you're getting off the cusp of things. So if you ever struggle, it's okay to take a step back and, you know, work from one point to another. Just don't forget, if you ever mess up, don't be afraid to erase. Don't be afraid to erase or start over. You can definitely do more than that. This is going to take me a little bit longer because I'm actually modifying a reference, so give me a second. Let's see. Actually make it a little bigger. And don't forget, you can use your pencil as a siding stick if you feel as if that's the best way to perform your function. There we go, and then like that, and there we go. We just got that going on. I can always adjust for whatever if I need to, but here we have a picture. Look at that, and it doesn't exactly fit the one that I'm working on, but that's okay because I just modified it to fit my needs. You can always modify a pose to fit your needs, especially if you're trying to study something. All right, so that was figure drawing. Smooth, quick, elegant, sleek. I'm actually not gonna say it's elegant. It's kind of rough and messy, but that's the point. You're trying to get your body in the way of flowing. We're not trying to be stiff. We're not trying to be rugged. If it's too stiff, it's not going to be lifelike. All we're trying to do right now is we're trying to get as much as we can with as little time possible in a more sleek and ergonomic way. Be smooth, be loose. Do some stretches if you're going to do this. If you feel like you're going to be stiff and you're going to be drawing really heavy and you're going to be focusing on one thing, clear your mind, put some music in, stretch your arms out, get a nice little shoulder roll going in, and then just draw. Just be real careful, real cautious, and enjoy yourself. This is a really easy process, and it's something, especially if you're trying to do character design, this is something that I feel is invaluable to any type of figure drawing of any kind. Alright, that's the end of the video, everybody. If you liked the video, go ahead and like the video, share it with some friends, comment and tell me how I did. If you have something that you want to suggest, leave it in the comment section below. I'm taking requests. I gladly help. Alright everybody, that's it. See you guys later.